Greetings from the sofa in the garage. I thought we may as well film it on here because I spend quite a bit of time sat on this sofa when I'm exhausted after a ride. There's nothing better than getting in after a long ride and just collapsing on this sofa. Sophie keeps talking about sort of throwing it out or getting rid of it, and I've conveniently kept trying to wait to do that because I absolutely love, even though it gets grotty and muddy and everything, so nice just sitting and chilling after a ride and just zonking out for 10 minutes and going on Strava and having a look at the ride afterwards. So I thought a little bit of a different location. I'll get my bike in the shot, and then we'll do a little bit of a video from the sofa. So what I'm actually going to talk about in this video is 4 tips for you to really be able to excel on those longer rides. So most of us probably only ride for 2 or 3 hours on a typical ride. But every now and again you go out for 4, 5, 6, 7 hour big epic day rides. So in this video I just wanted to chat about 4 things that are 4 tips, if you like, that will really help you squeeze the most from those longer rides and have the best possible energy and fitness for them. So I hope you really enjoy it. So the first tip for those longer rides is to make sure you fuel up correctly. Going on a 5, 6, 7 hour ride is very different to going on a 90-minute ride. You need to make sure that you fuel up better and you get enough fuel and enough food into your system. So on those longer rides, you want to be eating every 45 minutes. You want to make sure that you keep putting fuel into your system to keep your energy levels high. You want to really focus on what you eat before you ride, and you might even find that in the middle of the ride you have something substantial, like you stop for lunch and you might have a sandwich and something a little bit bigger, something a little bit more to fill you up and to really get enough food into your system. So when it comes to those longer rides, the fuel and the food that you're going to put into your system needs that little bit more focus and that little bit more intent on it to make sure that you get it right, and just be much more aware of it on those longer rides. On a 90-minute ride, if you get a little bit hungry, it's not the end of the world. If you're 15 miles away from home and you've got 3 hours left of your ride, or whatever the numbers might be, it's not ideal. That's not what you want. So just make sure you really do pay attention to how much you're eating on those longer rides, and if in doubt, take more with you rather than not enough. The second tip is to make sure that you pace yourself on those rides. So when you're doing shorter rides, sometimes you might actually want to go and absolutely batter yourself and go hell for leather and absolutely nail yourself on the bike because you only have limited time, so you might want to make the most of it and just hammer yourself. On those longer rides, you want to take the opposite approach, and you actually want to really pace yourself and just focus on spinning that bit slower, conserving your energy. Remember, when you get towards the end of the ride, if you've got loads of energy left, then it's absolutely fine to go for it and to dig in and to smash yourself. But if it's earlier into that ride, slow down a little bit, go slower, conserve your energy, and then save it for later on. The worst thing to do is to absolutely batter yourself on that first climb and push yourself to the limits and then find that you're knackered for the end of the ride. That's not what you want. So when you're going out for quite a while, really slow it down, take your time, take deep breaths, and just slow your cadence down and take it easy. The third tip is to make sure you get your bike set up right. So on those shorter rides, if your saddle's not quite at the right height, if your tyre pressures aren't quite right, if your suspension's too hard or too soft, it ain't the end of the world because you've got plenty of energy, you can just push through it and crack on. When you go on those longer rides, you're spinning your legs so many more times, you're staying in that same position for so much longer that everything's going to really add up. I know when I did my 24-hour charity ride year before last, it was great, loved it, super tough, but one of the things, I used different grips. So I'm used to my nice soft grips. I had a longer stem on the bike that I wasn't used to and really hard grips, and that was fine for an hour or two of riding, but when I was in the saddle for 24 hours, I actually completely cut off the blood supply to my hand, and my hand was numb for about 6 weeks afterwards. I literally couldn't feel anything in the palm of my hand, and that was because I just had so much pressure on it, I just damaged the nerves. Now it got better, but that would never have been an issue on a 2 or 3 hour ride. I wouldn't have had any problems, but because I was sat on the saddle for so long and putting so much pressure on my hands for such a long period of time, I ended up doing myself a little bit of damage. So when you're going on those longer rides, if there's been some little things, some little niggles that you've been wanting to change with your bike, putting the saddle up a bit, changing the stem height, softening the suspension or stiffening it, whatever it is you might be thinking of doing, probably make sure that you do that before you go out on that epic ride, because then the bike will be set up right and those little niggles are much less likely to turn into big problems if you can eradicate them before they become an issue. The fourth and final tip is to stay relaxed when you're on the bike. So when you're going on those longer rides, on a shorter ride again, you might tense up, not the end of the world. You want to make sure that you stay relaxed for the full ride. So when you're going on those descents, especially longer descents, really focus on relaxing your body, because you'll be able to take the hits a lot better, you'll be able to use a lot less energy on the way down, and you just save your energy more. Same thing for the climbs. Don't tense up unless you absolutely need to. Stay nice and relaxed, relax your upper body, relax your grip, just keep everything flowy, everything relaxed, and you'll find you conserve your energy a lot better that way. So just remember and keep on your mind when you're on those longer rides, relax, chill out, keep your body relaxed, and you'll find you keep your energy for so much longer and you feel so much better. I hope you've really enjoyed this video. Long rides are some of the best times you can have on your bike. It's great fun to just get on the bike and go out for an all-day epic. Follow these 4 tips and you'll really make the most of it and enjoy it to the absolute max. And if there's a tip that you think I've missed, please feel free to leave it in the comments and then everybody else can read it. Thanks so much.